to resize part of my image, I have to make sure I'm on the correct layer of what I'm trying to resize. In this case, I'm resizing my camera that I pasted in here, and I make sure that I'm on that layer. If I'm on the background layer, I won't be able to adjust anything except my background. So I click on the layer that I want to adjust, and on my keyboard I'm going to hit Control T. T as in transform, because I'm going to be transforming my size. Control T is that shortcut. Now, before I start resizing and just clicking anything on my screen, I could ruin how my image looks. Right now it looks a little skewed and it looks wrong. That's because I didn't hold down Shift on my keyboard. Now if I hold Shift, it automatically keeps the proportions locked into place. So no matter how I drag it, the camera will always be the right proportion. So when I am adjusting size, the two important things that I want to do after I hit Control T is I want to drag the corners, not these boxes here on the sides. I only want to drag the corners while I hold Shift on my keyboard. That way my proportions stay the correct proportions. Now, another thing I can do when I have this box around my image, after I've pushed Control T, I can rotate my camera however I want. Now, if I put my mouse outside of one of these boxes here, one of these boxes on the sides or the edges, it has this arrow when I have it on the box. But if I drag my mouse a little to the side, notice that bent arrow that appears. That happens on any one of these boxes. So if I have my mouse here and I drag it just a little to the side, to the outside, that bent arrow appears and I can rotate however I want on my camera. So on any of these little boxes, I can Shift, drag on the corners, and then I just take my mouse and put it a little on the edge where my bent arrow appears. Then I can rotate my camera however I'd like. Before I can move on, Photoshop makes me make the decision. Is this where I want my image, or do I want to move it? Do I want to make it bigger or smaller? It makes you decide if you're done or not before you can do anything else. To decide, I just have to hit Enter on my keyboard or this check mark up here on top. Once I hit Enter or this check mark, the box goes away and I can move my camera however I want with my move tool, and I'm ready to go. If I hit Control T again, I can resize by holding Shift and drag my corner. But if I don't hit Enter or this check mark, Photoshop won't let me move on until I hit Enter or that check mark.